On the coast west of Amsterdam, at IJmuiden, the Dutch have a steelworks. It was originally Koninklijke Hoogovens. Hoogovens merged with British Steel in 1999 to form Chorus. Chorus was sold to Tata Steel in 2010. The steelworks is still open in 2018, and a tiny section of it is represented here. Ticket to Ride visited the plant way back in 1999, the year that Chorus was created. And among other things, we had a ride through the coking plant on their internal railway, which was impressive. The next section of MINIWORLD represents the industry and quays along the Maas. The locations are presented in a fairly random order, but taken in the round it works well. This is the dry bulk terminal, here represented by coal unloading on one side, ore on the other. The sheer size of the modelling is quite overwhelming. In real life, the bulk terminals, they unload both coal and iron ore, are to be found just east of the vast Maasvlakte 1 container terminal at the seaward end of the Maas. Here you can see the real unloading cranes. Huge grabs are used to scoop up the ore or coal, 60 tons of ore at a bite, 30 tons or so of the lighter coal. This is a fine model of the rail service centre at Walhaven, at the east end of the Maas, near the city rather than the sea. It's a terminal for barges and for what are known as feeder vessels. Containers from, say, Copenhagen or Malmö would start their journey on a feeder ship. If they were heading for the USA, then they would join a deep-sea megaship at Maasvlakte. While if they were heading for, say, Italy, they would catch a train across the Alps. Or, if it wasn't an urgent consignment, take the barge to Basel and pick up the train there. It's not a one-size-fits-all operation. This is a close-up of a new intercity direct train. It's composed of a modern 160 kph locomotive equipped to run both in the Netherlands and Belgium, plus a 160 kph air-conditioned stock of Dutch extraction. ICDs work two service groups, Amsterdam to Brussels and Den Haag, Maastricht. As the model demonstrates, there is some freight through CS, and a non-platformed road facilitates this. In practice, this freight is mainly steel traffic from the Tatra mill at Beverwijk to Belgium, and intermodal traffic from the Rotterdam harbour to the north of the Netherlands, and vice versa. The canal gives access for ocean-going vessels to the Britannia Haven, which is the home of the RCT, or Rotterdam Car Terminal, and to Kobaltvet ferries, who run ro-ro services to Purfleet in the UK. The bridge is a lifter, a 50-metre lift over a 60-metre channel. It lifts multiple times a day, closing the crossing to trains and local road traffic for about 20 minutes at a time. The bridge has become a problem. Rail traffic is delayed and local road traffic spills back for some distance, sometimes blocking the motorway slip roads. As the bridge is just about life expired anyway, the rail route is going to be moved to avoid the structure. The existing route, Red, currently runs south of Rozenburg village and will be diverted along the centre of Theemsweg, Orange, and then over the Rozenburg locks, so bypassing the Kollenbrug altogether. The deep-sea container port of Rotterdam is at the western end of the Maas and is called Maasvlakte. Almost as soon as Maasvlakte was completed, planning started for a second port called Maasvlakte 2. The world's largest container vessels can be handled here, potentially 20,000 20-foot boxes on a vessel, and today there are 2 large vessels in port at the same time. Just after the entrance to the fans are the final set of retarders. These fine-tune the wagon's speed. Too fast, and they will bump hard into the next wagon on the siding. Too slow, and they won't run far enough. It's better that they fall short, as between the rails are devices called mules that can automatically propel a wagon or string of wagons and buffer them up. It was quite late in the evening when we filmed this, and trains were ready to begin making their runs to Germany, either along the Betuwe-route or through Dordrecht and over Holland's Diep. Thank you for travelling with Ticket to Ride in MINIWORLD Rotterdam. Their journey is also continuing with the British Isles experience, promised for 2020. We hope that you also enjoyed our exploration of the Rotterdam Port Line and Kijfhoek Marshalling Yard. Look out for other films in the Ticket to Ride series. In TTR241, we looked at the port of Antwerp, Rotterdam's neighbour and rival. Or you may prefer to fly over stunning Switzerland and watch trains navigating some of the most scenic and demanding rail routes in Europe. Do join us. Until then, it's bye for now.